Hi, this is Debbie Kaufman, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to do the card with Playing in the Rain stamp set. We will be using the Fox. I love Playing in the Rain. It's a suite in the mini, and it includes, the suite includes the stamp set, the dies, the designer paper, a folder, and some embellishments. It's amazing. I love this set. I love this set. So anyway, we'll be doing this card. We're using Playing in the Rain. This is the card that we will be doing. It's for Stamp Club. And it's a happy birthday and make a splash. We'll be using our markers as well. And how I decided to color this is, because I'm not artistic, I can't think of how to color things. I just copied the paper and used the colors that are involved in the paper, which is Cajun Craze, Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo, Mango Melody. So those are the that's what I used. So I didn't have to think about what I was doing. This is what the dies do, and I did color these as well. It has the clouds, which we will be using on the Stamparatus, and I did that in Balmy Blue. You've got your rabbit. This is not cut out. This is stamped, but I colored it according to the paper. And it's got a couple butterflies. It's got a tree stump, flowers, which we'll be using. It's got the bridge. It's got a little bit of water. The kite, which I used the paper from Celebration. And you can't see this. It's got the raindrops folder. I just cut a little bit down. It's the embellishments, umbrella, and little raindrops. So it's a really, really amazing suite. I like it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The kit will consist of you have your, obviously you have your clouds, you have your fox, your bridge. Now the bridge I cut out of the paper that, see the layer of the early espresso behind here? That's where I cut the bridge out of. So that's what you do, is you just use that piece for that. Saves on paper. And then this is Old Olive, 2 by 5 1/4. This is the Designer Series paper in the packet, 2 by 5 1/4. This is the strip, a scrap strip that we use for the Happy Birthday, and Flirty Flamingo cardstock. So we'll go ahead and get started. If I keep this in the realm of the video camera, which would be good. We're going to go ahead and remember you scored 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Basically cardstock cut in half, scored in half. And the mountain goes in, so I'll fold it this way. And I burnish it with my bone folder. And what we're going to do then is we're going to set that aside, and we're going to layer our designer paper, which will be here and here. Raindrops, point goes up, point goes up. I get that mixed up a lot. So I am going to use some glue, and we'll get that done. I have to kind of look closely at it when I do this. Make sure I stay in the realm of the camera. And I'm going to layer my Old Olive, and then I'm going to glue my raindrops. Point is up. Okay. and then I just put that. That way you can get quite a bit out of your designer paper too. I'm going to let that set a minute. So the next step I want to do is I want to color my fox while that is setting. I like the glue to dry. And I'm going to show you how I color. I'm using markers. You can use blends, but I am using markers. And for the fox, I'm using 4 colored markers. Just 4 for the fox. Okay, so I will show you how I colored that. I'll do that within the camera range. I start with, we're going to copy the fox that was in the designer paper. Okay, so we'll put that kind of there so you can kind of see where we're at. And I'm going to take, this is, what color is this? Sahara Sand. And just kind of do the face. Use the side of your markers. And then I'm going to do the tail. I love coloring. Some people don't, but I love coloring. Okay, and we're going to let that dry a minute. And then I'm going to take the Flirty Flamingo and do the umbrella. And I do need to show you how I cut all these out because I do a bunch of them at one time. And it's just so much easier. I'll show you that after I get this colored. So that's colored. I'll set that aside because we will be going back with it again to get more. And then we're going to do the Cajun Craze. And we'll do the ears. Ears. We're going to do the rest of the face. We're going to do the hands. I don't know if they're hands or not. And the legs. So you can use blends. I love blends, but I don't have a lot down here with me. So we are using markers. And I found that the more I use the markers, the more I use them and the more I like them. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. And then we're going to do the Mango Melody for the hat and the jacket. You can see it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want to show you when we go back to highlight it. So everything is dry, so now we're going to go back to the Sahara Sand. Since that's dry, I want to shade it a little bit. So just a little bit right there and a little bit by the tail. See, I don't have to use a lighter or darker blend. I just use the markers again. And then we're going to do the Flirty Flamingo. Go back on those and just kind of shade a little bit. And the Cajun Craze. Get the ears a little darker, right about the tail. Darken a little bit around the legs and hands. And then the jacket. Get that a little bit darker around the corners. So you can see you shade with the same markers. Okay, so that is your fox. Now I want to show you on the Stamparatus how I did this. I die cut, and I use thick white cardstock. That way I can put my magnets down and I don't have to magnet the pieces when I put them in here. They actually will fit right in there and you don't have to magnet them, and then you have your Memento ink and you can do that. So that's why I use thick white cardstock when I do a negative cut. And then with the clouds, the same thing. It's a thick white cardstock, and I have the Memento Black for this, and then the Balmy Blue for this, and I have the clouds. So I can do the turtle, the rabbit, and the fox all at one time, and I can do the clouds, and I have all those extra for myself when I'm ready to do cards. So Stamparatus is a wonderful tool to use. Okay, now let's get back to this. So we have this, and now we're going to layer this on, and this is just flat on there. I did not embellish this up at all. Make sure your card's opening the right way. And layer your, okay, and let that sit a minute. Now while that's sitting, I can get my dimensionals ready for my fox. And I like to use dimensionals because that's a fun thing to do. So I put like a bunch of them on there. And this is just glued down too, this bridge. So I use the Tombow glue, and I just do I better get it in here so you can see it. Just a little bit. And that is going the bridge right there. So that's got a chance to sit. And then we're going to stamp the sentiment. And I'm using Go-To Greetings, except I don't have it layered on a block yet, so I need to do that. Go-To Greetings. It's all happy birthday, thank you, but different fonts. I tend to use that a lot. And I will be using Memento ink. And sometimes I like to go ahead and stamp right on my paper first to make sure I have it inked up good. And the piece is cut long, and I'll just put it right in the center. Okay, happy birthday. And let that dry a minute. And then I will be using inside piece. This one's a little bit smaller, but it's the one that'll be coming in the kit is 4 1/4 by 5. And on the inside, I'm taking Make a Splash because it's happy birthday, it's raining, and I'm taking Make a Splash from Sunny Splash, the swimsuits. Now, since I'm using markers, what I do is I have it mounted on a block, and I'm going to take Mango Melody and just go over the make a, see how I'm doing that? It's kind of hard to see maybe. And then I'm doing in Balmy Blue the splash. And just on the side of the marker. Now you will hear me huffing on the side here because you got to huff it. And that will go on the paper. See? Party? Okay. Now we're going to stamp from the Playing in the Rain the flowers, which are right here. I'm going to stamp them in Memento. I need to cover up my... And we're going to stamp the flowers in the corner. Okay, and then you get to color them again with markers. I've got the Old Olive, and I'm just doing here, I gotta get it in the video view, the leaves. Oops, I smeared it. Look at that smear. Well, we'll have to cover that up with something else. That's okay, and then we're going to use Fleur de Flamingo and whatever colors you want to use. I'm just using the same ones that are in the fox. And we'll do another one over here. And then Mango Melody. Just color them in. And I just take the Sahara sand and go and do the center. And what can we put over? Well, we could probably try the raindrops. I don't know if it'll work or not, but let's try it. And see. Point up, point up. And since I smeared it in black, I think I probably should try it in black. Let's see what it looks like on the paper. Okay, we're just going to put I don't like it, but that's okay. You can, when you smudge, you have to try and figure it out. Or we can turn it over and start again, which I probably will do. Or get another piece. I don't care for that. So I'll probably make another piece for that one. But in the meantime, we'll go back to this card. And I will put the clouds on. And you can do those anyway. There's 3 clouds. You can dimensional them up if you want. I'm going to put my fox on first because I'll see where that's going to be. And then I take a little Sahara sand and just kind of ground him a little bit. So he's like a shadow on the ground. Same with around here a little bit. So it looks like he's grounded a little bit. And then I'm going to turn my clouds over with a little glue, and a little glue. And put my clouds on. And then you have these little things that'll be in your kit. And I just put, well, let's put our sentiment on first. Okay, let me do that first. I like cutting my sentiment and do an angle this way and an angle this way. And I'll add a little glue. Put my happy birthday down. And then we're going to add a few flowers, so I'm going to put like a dot of glue there, a dot there, maybe a dot there. And put some flowers on there. I'm sure I should have used the other side of my take a pick tool, but that's doesn't have the stuff in it right now. And then we'll add a white one right there. And then I'm going to redo the inside of that card because I don't care for that smudge. So that will be your card, and then the envelope will also probably have a fox on it. And the inside will be done with markers as well. Anyway, this is Debbie Kaufman, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. This is for the Stamp Club for February. The kits will be coming, and I will not be able to send the complete kits because of unstamped images, but I noticed some people back there have this set, so they'll be able to help you get them stamped for you. And so that will be taking care of that. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.